All right, hello, hello, hello. God, I was hoping that the sound would work. I was still chewing half of a bagel. It's like, oh God. So let me know if the sound is okay, guys. It looks like it is, but of course I had to update OBS, and then I was like, oh, we need to shut this down. All right, cool. Thank you, Nora. Yeah, it was kind of an interesting morning. I rolled over like last night. I was basically like, all right, I'm going to bed right now. Everybody get out. Um, Melissa went to the other room with the little baby, and I got Jen to lay in bed. I was like, all right, we're gonna sleep right now. And I was like, it was like 10 o'clock. I was like, we're going to sleep. Um, then this morning, like I don't typically set an alarm because I'm typically up and no problem. I rolled over this morning at 7:39, and I was like, oh my god, we were supposed to leave the house 4 minutes ago to take the boys to school because I have to drop them off at their bus stop at a school because they go to like an IB school. So it's not like our local bus stop where they could like technically leave by them, like walk out by themselves. So I was like, oh my god, get in the car quick! And thankfully, I went downstairs and they were putting their shoes on. So they got points for being responsible this morning. Thankfully, um, they didn't do any of their morning chores, but at least they were. I mean, we literally made it there. The bus was sitting there, and she actually showed up early today. She's never early, but today she was early, and I made it back. And then it's I had Todd's thing, then we had this thing, and then I have a mentoring appointment, and then literally I have 10 minutes to get to the eye doctor. I don't know if you guys can tell in the morning Todd's morning stream, my eye is still messed up. Um, I didn't tell you. I didn't really. I kind of told it to Todd's group, but so I had like a really bad like sinus congestion and everything like that when the baby was born on that Thursday, and I still have a little bit, but it's like severe allergies or something. I don't know, but anyway, it was pretty bad. And like that Sunday, like it was still kind of there, not as bad, but then my eye started to swell, like underneath my left eye. I was getting like edema. I was like, "What the heck is this?" And I called the doctor and I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, we'll do a virtual." I was like, "Virtual's fine. I'm good with that." I was like, "You can see it." I'm like, "I can give you all my vitals and we're good." And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "It sounds like it's some congestion and it's swollen." And she's like, "It doesn't look like pink eye." But she's like, "But I'll give you antibiotics to treat the sinus infection, right?" So I've been on those like all week, and it's still there. And I called her back on Friday. I'm like, "Hey, you told me to call you back, right? Nothing's happened." She's like, "Yeah, you need to go see an eye doctor about it." So I was like scrambling all weekend and found an eye doctor, and so yeah, I gotta do that today. But yeah, it's a pain. I'm like, I don't know if I got poked in the eye by the little one or what it was, but I don't know. But I'm like, I just want to kind of feel normal again. And yeah, as I told Todd, I was like, yeah, it figures it's on my left side. If it was my right side, you would never even see it. Like, I feel like I'm gonna have to switch the camera just for these morning sessions until it's back. But little guy's doing good. Little guy's doing good. Oh, thank you, Will. And I saw Sean earlier. Thank you guys for using your Prime Gaming there. Um, 26, 24. Man, I can't believe that's over 2 years. That's crazy, right? That we've been using Twitch for 2 years now. Crazy. Um, but yeah, so far he's doing good. He's got day night messed up. He's passed out now, but he kept Melissa up pretty much all night. He eats a lot. He's finally slowed down. He for the first 4 days, it was like every diaper was like a poop diaper. It's like, my God, this kid is like, within 5 days he was back and above his birth weight. So I mean, he's definitely well ahead of the charts as that. So at least you know, he's doing well. Jen likes him. She is. I'm happy to report she has not tried to smother him yet. She actually sings like "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star" to him, and she's been really good with him so far. She gets very upset when he's crying. He's like, "Mommy, mommy, mommy," baby's crying. Not like we can't hear them either, but she's been very, very concerned. So been a good big sister so far. So we're happy with that. We had some of our slight concerns, but yeah. So infant plus 9 or a plus. Wait, what is it? Monday plus. He was born Friday. Yeah, so plus 9. Infant. Newborn plus 9 day. We are all surviving so far. So, um, he's not walking yet, but he lifts his head all the time, and he kind of rolls on his side. Like he can't roll all the way over yet, but he rolls on his side. It's kind of funny. It's weird. It's like what? What are you rolling for? Um, yeah, he rolls on his side. So I don't know. I'm assuming he'll be. I don't know. I'm assuming by like 1. I don't know. If he keeps his pace up, he'll be rolling onto his back by like 2-3 months, or I guess onto his belly. He does like on the side. Um, but yeah, he goes to his side pretty easy. Yeah, it's kind of nuts. All right, sorry, I just grabbed another bite. I was like, oh yeah, I'm talking. Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, Debbie. So there's already two other kids, I think, that are born within like a month of him. I'm like, man, we already got the next lacrosse team is already filling up. This this many years ahead of time. 6 years early, and we already got three kids on the team, so it's working out well. And one of the other dads, he's the guy. He actually is the guy who he's like the main. I don't know. He's the president. I guess he runs the league for my men's league. So I was like, there we go. Got my assistant coach already. Good to go. He lives right down the street. So yeah, 6 years early. And I'm like, man, I'm like, my kids will be like, they'll be like juniors or something like that. I was like, you guys will be perfect to be assistant coaches. So I'm like, man, this is working out perfect. So yeah. All right, well, let's jump in because I need to make sure I get out today on a decent basis. But I wanted to fill you guys in. Thank you for bearing with me last week. I just was trying to take as much time and, you know, help Melissa slash the child as much as I could. There'll be other days that I miss. So update you guys now. I just found out, and I guess it's confirmed. I don't know. I was asked to be kind of a backup who just because of babies, I just got pushed for another person having a baby. Looks like I'm going to be headlining an event actually for IG, not just Nadex. It'll be IG's first kind of education summit, and the main kind of headline speaker. I don't know if he had a baby or he planned this thing on the day when his wife is supposed to have a baby or whatever it is, but um, looks like I'm gonna be doing an IG event, and I'll be like in the anchor spot. So that'll be interesting. I haven't done anything big for IG yet. I've done some Daily FX stuff, but I've never done an IG thing. So it'll be kind of cool. This will be the second large brokerage firm that I've done education for. The first one being FXCM. So yeah, kind of cool. And but it'll be a quick presentation. So that'll be on November 2nd. So we'll have the morning session, but we won't have the afternoon session because I'm supposed to talk at 1. So I can't go 12 to 1 and then 1 o'clock jump on the other one. I won't be able to do it that quick. So we won't have a breakdown. But maybe it'll be, I may be doing more things for IG in the near future. So very, very cool. All right, so it's Monday. There's not really a ton to talk about. The biggest things that are moving are not necessarily in the currency markets. Euro pound is the only thing, and again, some of that had to do with the pound. Talking about really, there was some comments made. Where is it now? I'm not gonna be able to find it now. If I go backwards, maybe there we go. Basically, Bailey is talking about what the rate hikes are going to look like. You're seeing there's really no change whatsoever in the pound. It's a little bit more weak today than anything else. But they're talking about, the traders are betting that the bank will start raising rates in the final months of 2021. We're kind of right there right now. There's not many more months after this, but it's kind of on par. But what he's saying is that he's very explicit about the path to raising. They're talking about how fast it's going to be, what it's going to be by the end of 2022. That he said the central bank will have to act to curb inflation. Kind of the same thing that Jamie Dimon is saying. And yet this comes just as fiscal, drawstrings are tightened. Really no release because, again, traders have already priced this in. They've already expected it. They've already seen it. And we're talking about the pullbacks that are going to occur from it. Kind of where we are. And again, you can see that the pound is down slightly here. The 35 is the big leader on the board right now in the euro pound. And again, some of that has to do with some weakness there and a little bit of a euro strength on the other side. But for the most part, the currency market is not really moving much. Nothing really big there. But again, you're seeing the jump in rates does little to sterling, the Canadian dollar, and the New Zealand. So you're seeing that there's many more comments about raising rates. It's getting into that. It used to be about what taper was looking like and what what vaccination rollouts look like. Now we are jumping over, and I'll just click on it. Now we are jumping over, and we're starting to look at what does the rate rising environment look like. So it's an entirely different game. It's an entirely different game. There could be some major jumps, but a lot of it you got to be careful because they seem to be telegraphed a lot more. right? When you're telegraphing a 0.25% rate hike, especially in this environment, coming back from something like a recession, it's not a surprise. And remember, news trading is more about the surprise, the missed forecast. When you forecast a 0.25% increase and it does rise by 0.25% increase, it's basically like a no trade, right? you know, there will be people that get suckered into it saying, "Oh my God, it raised!" Right? This is great. We're supposed to buy it. But most times you see the opposite reaction because traders already knew it was already priced in, and the people that are seeing the data after the fact, they're an easy target for kind of for sharks, right? They're an easy target. So, we'll see how it works out. As far as news today, I mentioned it earlier with the Nadex group. If you caught that, tonight monetary policy should be pretty interesting. The reason why, again, without the U.S. and UK interference, again, we're talking about raising interest rates in a bunch of different places. So, yeah, are they going to mention something a little hawkish tonight? Could we see, a reversal of fortune for the Aussie dollar again with this pushing down, being down slightly? I think it's a good possibility. Is it early to start finding levels? Yeah. But again, drop it in there, grab those 30-minute levels. And again, guys, you do it, you guys do it pretty well, posting about levels ahead of time. Um, get in there in Discord, post your levels, share with other people. Remember, different brokerages have different levels, just slightly depending on when their candle ends. Share that stuff. That's what Discord is for. I know a lot of you do it. A lot of you do it, showing like this was my setup for this one. That was a great trade. Do it beforehand. Share so other people can get in there and do it as well. So, yeah, might as well, right? But I think that's going to be a good trading opportunity tonight. Tomorrow with Bailey speaking again. Again, Bailey's telegraphing a lot of things, but we'll see if there's any surprises with what Bailey says. At 8:05 in the mornings is better for U.S. trader than 3 a.m. So we'll see how that works. But for a Tuesday, not really much in there, right? Bailey's not bad for a little bit of currency play, but then Bowman and Waller, not really. I wouldn't say really big. I wouldn't say they're big market movers, right? I mean, let's see here. Yeah, she's delivering a speech called "Diversity and Economic Recovery." Um, gender diversity, gender diversity and leadership in the boardroom and C-suite forum hosted by. Oh, in partnership with the Bank on Women Inc. and the Risk Management Association. Yeah, I don't know. I've given you my opinion on all this. I have no problems with men running it, women running it. I don't really care either way. It doesn't matter to me. But giving somebody purely based off of their gender, I think, is wrong. I think it's very important to not exclude people because of gender, but basically saying we're only looking at women candidates, I think, is the wrong way to do things. I think they should literally take the gender thing off, look at the two different things side by side, completely blind, and then choose the best candidate based off their credentials, not based off of their sex, their gender, their race, none of those things. I don't think any of those have any place in any of this. It should be purely, money doesn't care about any of those things. It should purely, this is here, this is here. If you want to ask them questions, great. Ask them questions in an electronic format. Then you remove all those things. So we'll see what happens. And Waller, economic outlook could be something. Hmm. He's a voting member. I mean, Waller is a voting member, but we'll see. This could be interesting. So maybe Waller gives us something tomorrow at 3. Again, it's talking about economic outlook. Being a voting member, he'll have kind of an opinion of what he expects or what he's seeing, right? So there may be something more in that one. Diversity, not so much. Just talking about diversity, that's not going to talk about voting and economic implications. Talking about economic recovery and diversity, they're talking about more about leadership and things like that. I don't think they're going to talk about the injustices that are happening right now. I don't think that's kind of what I mean. And again, I don't know what Bowman's views are on raising interest rates and curbing inflation and things like that. That's where that's where a lot of this needs to be focused on, not the other aspect of it. But Waller may give us something tomorrow, so there may be something in there we can do with it. So, all right, let's jump over across. We'll start with currencies and then kind of see what everything else is looking like. As you can see, we had some levels, and again, these levels have been here for a while. We had that level up top. This one ended up getting chunked through, it looks like. Nice push here, little base, and then it became kind of a launching point. So we'll remove it. That's funny, actually. Look at this bottom, 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 top, top, top. Right there with that one. So let's keep that on there for a little bit longer. I'm going to adjust this top level. I'm going to leave it right there. And we're going to adjust it based off of this new formation up top. And we'll bring this across right now. And we'll change this one to red. There we go. 74.32 is, I'd say, probably the next level. Now, this is a nice strong push down. We had an area here, and again, we were very risky. It's kind of an area we were watching out for because it had been pushed pretty deep. I would say next super clean level, we're going to throw one down here just so we can bracket the top and bottom. We'll move this across. We'll get rid of it now. Again, it was a good launching point, but this way it gives us kind of a bracket top and bottom. And a few areas in here that we could probably take longs off of. Let's see. Where is that 50 at? Where is that 50 hiding? Oh, we hit it already. All right, so we know we got a level sitting there. Let's mark off for news tonight. I'm gonna mark another little level right there too. Only because again we got a couple things all popping at the same time. It's a shame that went just a little bit lower. Needed just to go a little bit more. All right, so I would say that would be what we're watching out for tonight. Let's pull this back a little bit so you can get a little cleaner. But there's our there's our three pieces: our 73.32, our 73.21. In regards to news tonight for Aussie, I've run across plenty of horrible people incorporated. Yeah, no, and that's what and that's what bugs me. It's like everybody, they say that there's so many problems. They're talking about, well, 95% of the people out here are this, this color or this gender. Like education's a great example, right? So, um, like in education, as far as schools go, once they heard, like I've gotten, I can't even tell you how many emails or things like that or phone calls I've gotten to like, hey, would you be interested in, helping out this year, with the school? Because I, remember guys, I did this stuff at, the girls' school and the boys' school in the spring. Once they were like, wait a second, you're a male teacher and you're willing to help educate? Wait, what? Like I've gotten 8 trillion things. And it's kind of one of those things like I could literally go in and get a job easier in that arena than somebody more qualified than me that's a, white female. Only because I'm male. Just because of my gender, they'll take me over somebody that's probably more highly qualified. Without a doubt, no doubt. Now, if I was like a Hispanic male or a black male, I could go in and basically just, all right, I want that job. I don't care if she's been here 25 years. I want that job, and they would give it to me. It's insane. It's not based off the best candidate, Yeah. So I've seen plenty of people that are horrible. The sad thing is you see people in a position that have no business being there, and they just destroy it. And it's kind of like, listen, I got nothing against, like I've had some absolutely amazing managers. Actually, my favorite manager of all time. You know, best manager, most prepared manager. Again, it was a gentleman, but again, his qualifications were like second to none, and I am so thankful, and was just the most positive experience. And then at the same time, I don't know if he retired or whatever it was. I guess he helped. He kind of got promoted, and I got a new manager. I got a female manager, and she got the position because she was a rising star, but had absolutely no business being in the position. But she got it over another candidate that because like, well, it was a male before, now we're going to switch. And worst manager ever. I don't think she's in the industry anymore. Like everybody left. The entire set. We were a award-winning sales team. We all left. Everybody left. They were like, this is ridiculous. But that was their diversity candidate that they brought in, and it was horrible, horrible. Like, I don't know, drives me crazy. Like, hire people based off their qualifications. Like, it's sad that I could walk in there and be like, oh, okay, I want this job, and they'd give it to me. I mean, not that I would do a bad job, but it's just, I think it's ridiculous. I think it's give the most qualified person the job. Right? Take the rest of it out. Like if you know the system is rigged, don't hire that way. Do it fairly, and it all work its way out. You know. Um, yeah, I mean, Ernest is a lot of that too, right? Yeah, on who you know in the hierarchy of a corp. Yeah, I mean, nepotism is a real thing too, right? I mean, it doesn't matter if you're the best candidate if you know the right people. Yeah, and again, I think that's the thing. They know the system is broken, right? I don't think anybody disagrees that the system is broken, whether it be government, whether it be regular corporations. The rich are all evil, right? If you know the system is broken, create a hiring system that's not. Like now, a lot of corporations have done that thing where you have to pass like all their, like here's your application. Okay, great. Now you have to go take this psychological assessment. Well, a lot of people don't like psychological assessments. Like it's, I don't personally think they're the best, but like, oh, if you meet these, this is what you need to score to be, match with our corporate entity, right? I don't think those are the best ways to do things because there are some people that are great people, but and I'm not one of these people, but any type of tests throw people off. Like some people have extreme test anxiety, and I've seen it. I know people that, they're extremely intelligent people. I would hands down love to have this person in anything that I was doing. Great teamwork, but if it's like, listen, you can join me, but you got to take a test first. They just don't do well with it. So I feel like they're eliminating some good people out there. Um, obviously there needs to be some objectivity to it, but yeah, so they're doing some psychological, but they should just fix it. Um, yeah, it's my stream. I can say whatever I want. Yeah, these days merit based are yeah. Ernest, it absolutely should be, and it should be that way with everything. You know what I heard today. I read this morning, Ernest, and it's your state, so I'm going to bring it up. And I like this guy, right? I heard that Matthew McConaughey may be running for governor of Texas. The Dems are like, oh, if he's our candidate, it's a lock. We won. But he hasn't said what side he even be running for yet, and I was like, what? I was like, all right, all right, all right. I was like, oh my god, the memes from Texas would be just never ending. And I like the guy. I think he's great, but it's like, what? I do. I like the guy a lot. Like, he's got one acting style, but I like him. I mean, I like a lot of his movies. But I thought it was hysterical. Yeah. Yeah, it's great. I was like, oh my god, I cannot wait. I was like, if he runs for governor, I was like, I don't even know. Because now it's kind of like, well, listen, he's sexy. Women are like, yeah, did you see him with his shirt off in Magic Mike? Yeah, let's vote for him. I hate the government. The government's bad. Let's vote for him. It's like, what? Yeah, good old Texas. Gotta love Texas. Yeah, I guess he's like an Austin resident, you know? But yeah, there's rumors that he is running for, and people from both sides have talked about it. It's like, oh, if he runs for us, and he runs for us. It's like, wait a second, is he the most qualified, or is he going to win based on popularity? Right? Yeah, Debbie, I know Debbie. Yes, with his abs, Debbie, I'm sure that you would vote for him. Yes, and I feel like that he will get many votes just because of his abs. No, I actually do like some of his. If you ever listen to him talk about things, I do think he's actually very intelligent. I do think I do like the way that his outlooks on life and things like that. So, but again, I just thought it was absolutely hysterical. Like, I don't know. I mean, like we can take a cue. I mean, I guess Reagan did well. Reagan made it to president, right? But like Arnold, I don't think I don't know. Is Arnold considered? Was he considered a great governor for California? I don't know. And like Jesse, another celebrity, did Jesse turn out well? I don't know. And it's kind of the same thing. I mean, I don't think Trump did horrible, but like I don't know. Would many people consider Trump great? I don't know. I think Trump is totally different. I think he tried to break the mold, which people weren't ready for the mold to be broken yet. But I don't know. Is he qualified? I don't know. But I mean, you could have the same debate. Was Obama qualified to be president? No. I mean, he was a junior senator. He really didn't have much time. Is AOC qualified to be a senator? No. Does that really matter anymore? No. Qualifications don't matter anymore. They don't look into that stuff. Like, what are your issues, right? And that's actually one of the gripes. Like, well, what does he stand for? I don't know. Does anybody really know what any of the candidates stand for anymore? No, because you're not voting for a candidate anymore. You're voting against the other candidate. Remember, that's what new politics is. So, yeah, it's new politics. It's like, what are the issues? What does he stand for? I don't know. I just don't like that other person. That's all we're doing right now. Um, all right, it's funny. Aussie yen looks exactly like the indices do right now. Um, and again, we're kind of in a channel. I wouldn't say there's a lot of movement in this one. It's down 0.25%. Nothing really crazy. We had an area here last week, And again, I'm not going to revisit it. We know we're in the whoops. We know we're in an upper level right now. Um, let's take some new adjustments on this one. I actually do. It's a decent top. I like the way that forms. So let's go ahead and use this. Again, a lot of these things I haven't looked at this. I haven't logged in this platform in a week. So yeah. So the fact that some of these levels are still holding and providing resistance and bounces and Harry Potters and things like that, it's pretty interesting. 7 days later, that it is still working. Still trying to find a Harris supporter who can actually tell me something about her that isn't obvious. Yeah, no, I don't know. I will say, and again, I don't want to turn this entire. I got 30 minutes to go through the rest of all this, but I will say, um, for a woman that was as vocal before she got elected, she does. I haven't really heard much about her. Like I guess she did a little bit with the border, right? I feel like she got sent to the border, but all I hear every day is that that they're using Obama or they're using Trump policy still for the border. All right, they're using Trump era policy or enacted policies at the border still. I don't know. She hasn't really said much, right? Like it's weird. Like it's gone rather silent for as vocal as a woman, and they were like, oh no, this is going to be we're going to get Biden in so that way he can get Harris to be president next. She really hasn't said much. I don't know if they're trying to just keep her out of the spotlight so they don't tarnish her. I don't know, but it's been rather quiet, right? Either love guns or hate oil, and you're in. Yeah. Ernest, I don't know, but yeah, she's been rather quiet. So I mean, honestly, Neuro, I don't even know. I mean, yeah, been rather quiet. So I feel like, I mean, I don't know. And it's not, and I wouldn't say, I mean, I doubt that Biden is as overbearing as Trump was. Like Pence didn't say much, but Pence still did his stuff, right? Like you still heard about Pence, right? And I feel like Trump would be much more controlling and overbearing than Biden would be. But yet Harris really hasn't said much. Like you don't see anything. Stay in the background. Yeah, but I feel like you heard stuff from Pence. I mean, and you would hear stuff from Biden occasionally when he was with Obama. But I feel like you've heard like nothing from her except that she went to the border. And then all I hear now is like, oh, due to Trump era policies, we're at the border, we're still doing this, and we're deporting people back to Mexico. It's like, wait, I thought this was all the things you guys didn't want. So I don't know. Anyway, here's a level for tonight. 84.88. It was a top over the weekend, obviously late last night. Bottom side, really, I don't love. I mean, I guess if we wanted to put a new term level in there, we could put something sitting right there. And again, it's taken advantage of an old area. And again, we've seen basing, nice little pop off of it, retest again. Again, these were old levels from last week. Actually from 2 weeks ago, because again, we didn't do much last week. So we're going to remove them and use that same type of level of basing. This one's got a lot more room to run. Probably we'll use 83 just psychological, and it's a decent bounce. I don't think we're coming all the way down there. No, 145. We're not getting down there. Probably in that range of anything else. Yeah, 30 up, 50 down. Yeah, it's probably what we're looking for tonight. Again, check this one tonight and see where we bounce. But this is a good one to trade tonight against the yen. Probably a good one. Great. I just got an email from the boys' principal. Oh, let me update you on one other thing, guys. I forgot to update you this. My good son. You guys know I have the twins, right? There's the one that gets in trouble a little bit more often, and then there's the good one who's like typically like the police officer in class is like, hey, the teacher said get your Chromebooks out, right? The one that's like the rule follower. Yeah, I got a notification last Tuesday. Your son is absent from science. I'm like, what? Or how is he absent from science? Well, a couple of his buddies decided to talk him into them, and the four of them decided to skip class because there was a substitute. And of course, we'll never get caught, right? I literally got a notification on my phone 3 minutes into the class that he was not in class. And then they managed to, skip the entire class. And he's like, yo, after 10 minutes, I realized that this was probably a bad idea. But they told me if we went back now, we would definitely get in trouble. I was like, you're already in trouble, buddy. They notified me at home. Notification on my phone. Like the days of, like, I feel like as kids, like we can talk about like most stories are like the good old days, right? I walked uphill both ways in snow. and like we talked about how hard we had it. I feel like I'm never gonna be able to do that with my kids. I'd be like, "Hey guys, back when I went to school, there was no such thing as electronic tracking. My parents didn't know where I was, and they would never be able to find me." Now I'm like, "Hey, you got a phone, so I have a GPS tracker on you. If you're a 1 minute late for class, it notifies me at home." Like I feel like, man, back in the easy days, I could get away with everything. But yeah, re-skip class. So we've been, he got lucky though. He did not get detention or suspended like one of the other kids because the teacher was like, "You're typically a rule follower, so I know this was probably not your idea, but." So he used this one get out of jail free card for skipping a class, and Asher's like, "Oh, why is everybody blaming me?" I was like, "I didn't blame you, buddy. Mommy thought it was, they messed kids up." I was like, but yeah. So that was my week last week. Um, yeah, you guys would have laughed about that one. But here's our top and bottom. Let's go through these quick. Euro pound, nice little racetrack here. We are in a little bit of a spot now. You can see that this ended up coming through, finally triggering and dropping. Got a level sitting right there, but looks like we're going to break it. It's pushed it through, so let's actually move this back up to the same area where we were looking last week. We'll use this green body right here as a reversal level. I do actually like this one short, and again, it's kind of the same. Let's update this from last week. Bring this across. Again, that same level is right there. Let's use this. I feel like we got a market here, although I don't really love that level either. Go here and here. I'm sure there's going to be some fib people taking some shorts in here right at that same level. They're probably already stuck in it right now. Right in there. Yeah, it's only 20 pips down and 30 pips up, so it's not even really the best opportunity. But yeah, I don't think it's going to hold. I wouldn't, I'd be waiting for it up top. I think 84.78 on this one is the best look on that. And again, this one has been pretty slow. It's really kind of more like that. This is what we had last week, so really wasn't looking at this one too much. I do think we will retrace back up again, and then when we get the UK data, this one will roll. Look at this, man. This one chopped through. So let's remove this one now. We'll end up using that later. Euro yen. Let's go 4 hour. So close right there. Oh, it did hit. It did hit. It did hit. Yep, it did hit. Look at that. It did crank it. 1 or 3 would have been there. So again, level we've had up there, the 123 or 132.70. We got nothing above that. So that one was a good Harry Potter. Let's pull this. I go to an hourly. Can I see that on an hourly? Yes, I can. All right. I want to put some rays, make it a little easier to see. Let's change this to red. Pop one there. That's going to be a next reversal area probably. All right. Go down to 30-minute. So yeah, so there was your hit last night. Actually, I guess that would have been last week on the 15th. And then here's last night. All right. I would say watch this zone for one more. It barely touched that zone. So again, let's hold that up there. That could be an interesting kind of news-based or UK-based open, right? 32.76. Top side, I don't really have much. Like I said, we still have a Harry Potter down here. It didn't really explode off of there. So, again, it rode. Wouldn't necessarily be willing to take that for a long. And again, there's not really much in here. It's not giving me much to go long from. So I'd say 32.76. Watch for another short. Again, looking for a bounce lower. The 130.70. This could be a slow roll for the rest of the week. But like I said, I don't really have any areas I love for buying in here. So I would say probably more negative. But wait for a pullback, or potentially if you're looking for an entry for this one short, you could take a small base off of that, and kind of there's a little area there, but you could set something up and try to take this one a break of 132.14 to the downside. Like I said, not a whole lot holding it in there. You could definitely get a 1 to 3 in, and again maybe check something longer term on that one. Okay. Euro dollar is just literally chopping back and forth. 24 hours, it's moved 15. Again, here's your push up. There was your drop down. Let's clean some of these up from all the news last week. Let's see. Let's draw some new things. There's our top here. Looks like we missed it by just a little bit. Hmm. How much is that? Let's see. It's 10. That's 10. I could be into that. Let's say here's our top and bottom currently right now. Um, there we go. Okay, there's our top. And here you go. So 73, 35, and 16, 16 up top. Um, nice little open. Look at that. 230. Nice little grab right before that 3 o'clock window. 50% pullback, 1573 zone. Nice clean base right there. Nice little trade setup. Yeah, I look for a reversal. I mean, it's basically been dollar weakness all the way up. So yeah, decent. Decent. Okay. Pound yen. All right. So pound yen had some decent pops off these two little levels. These are basically profit target levels. And again, I would say right now, I would say stay with the negativity with the pound. With the euro pound, obviously, we need to rise a little bit more. We are going to have a little bit of a hiccup sitting right in there, right? And again, this is the reason why this one is marked is because a Todd session last week on the 15th. We talked about again potential profit areas, and again it bounced, went right off of it again. We're coming down there again. I would say um, the problem with taking kind of a Harry Potter from here, and I guess if we shorten it down, let's shorten it into like probably there. There is going to be a Harry Potter here. The question is, I don't know if we can get a full 1 to 3 in. No, it's going to be a little bit. It's close. It's a little bit into the zone. Ideally, I'd like to have it here. So it's a little. Ideally, that's where your profit target should be, right? You guys see that line right there? Um, mm, let's mark off this top. We're gonna mark it there. Red. Let's get this on. Put it over. Oh, by the way, too, that's going to be a core part of my campaign. Wait, what? That platform will get you in high place. Yeah. Um, yeah, for the IG thing, I got to use the IG web client too. It's like, oh man, I was like, Todd, I used to use it. I was like, for chart schools, I was like, but I haven't used it for a while, so I got to go back in there and get reacquainted with it. Um, I got to do some like charting. So I basically one of the things I'm going over there is like my personal routine of how I trade, of like what I do, right? Kind of all my steps. But he wants me to show it on the platform. I was like, all right. I was like, I could pretty much do that, but I'm gonna have to do a lot of pre work for it. Actually, you know what? It's right there. Actually, that's not a horrible trade. Um, let's look for that break. Target down here. Um, that's not horrible. Yeah, so look for a break of 156.51, going down to 156.14. Nice little risk level. I think that one's decent, but again, you probably don't want to get in this one with the UK session. This would be more of an overnight type thing. Just watch the UK open. Pound yen. So pound yen's got some levels up here. You guys can see, levels that it's bounced off of. So let's clean these from last week because I didn't use it. That one's still good, so we'll keep that one up top. Um, all right, so let's see what we got here. I can already see that there's a level sitting right there. Actually, it's probably right there, but we may have this one may get front run a little bit. Let's see, 12. All right, that up top. Bet you there's some people that are sitting right there right now, going, yeah, yeah, yeah. And here's why. Here's why people are like jumping all over this one. You see it right at the 50. But look at this little racetrack here. So there are people that are trying to get long from this level, right? They're trying. They're trying. And it did not hit the 23.6 here, did not hit the 23.6 here. So there are people that are like, oh, but no. I would play the failure of that one more than anything else. I think if we take a short trade here, do we have room? Answer is yes, we do. Whoops, I was right on. My reactions are slowed. Again, take advantage of that racetrack, bring it all the way back down. And again, matches the pound yen trade. All right, dollar CAD. All right, so dollar CAD. It kind of hit the level, hit the level, hit the level again, hit the level and base right down here. You're like, oh man, it's going. So again, we were talking early about that break, but after it kept hitting and hitting and hitting and then started basing right in here, it's kind of those ones you had to pull the trigger and go with it. So yeah, you kind of needed to get this one early. And again, that was from last week. It really hasn't come up and tested that level again. I would say kind of more in the near term of things. And again, was kind of trying to set up a, move a lot of those now. Let's talk about some basing sitting right in there. That would have been the overnight. Yeah, it's a European session open. Nice little trade. I would say watch for a bounce down here. Now, remember, we do have some Canadian data, Canadian news. I did not see the business outlook. Actually, the business outlook's about to kick in at 10:30. So I would expect there's probably going to be some movement on this one. I kind of like this one to drive down, and then we'll kind of see. I expected it to be positive, but I expect a lot of it to already be baked in. You can see right now, since the open, it's 0.00, right? Right, we're at zero right now. If you look over here, 0%, and then dollar CAD is down 10, down 9, 10. I would expect this one to push, and we'll see if we can break through that level. I don't really. With CAD right now, it's kind of been one of those shorter term kind of base trades. Look on the grand scheme of things with a 4 hour. You can see we're kind of dealing with where current prices are. We're dealing with a bunch of. I mean, there's a big area right here. We had a little hair powder set up, but look, a lot of movement. Here, I'll put this right here. You can see that we got enough. Let's change this to green. Let's turn this solid. Really, we know that there's just a lot of buyers sitting in this level. Like this entire level right here is been supported by buyers on a more near term. Again, we can shrink it into the this is a 4 hour chart, but look, touch supported, touch, and then exploded back out again. We're kind of within striking distance of that right now. It is only sitting 50 pips away. With that economic survey, we could definitely come down there. So big question is, can we get through this first level of basing? I don't know that I'd be willing to take that one short down, but I definitely think that this level down here at 123.08 is a level that we're looking for from a bounce. On a 4 hour time frame, provided a big kind of oomph to the top side. Question is this setting up for kind of a? We only got 10 minutes, and it's got 16 pips to go. Could we take it long from there? Sure. But it's got a little bit more room to run in the next 10 minutes, and we're not seeing any stabilization in this one. Right now, this one is purely being driven by the dollar, okay? Probably actually the dollar and oil a bit. What is oil doing now? Oil's coming back down a little bit. So, yeah, we'll see. But I do think we will hear things positive. Late last week, Thursday or Friday, I saw an article that says the percentage of people in Canada that is vaccinated is higher than the United States, but only by Canadian standards. It's not by U.S. standards. The U.S. does not consider mixed dosing as a full vaccination. So, like my mother-in-law has one Pfizer and one Moderna, and she's not considered vaccinated by U.S. standards, but she is considered vaccinated by Canadian standards. So. And speaking about COVID, how about Colin Powell today? How about that? 84 years old. I didn't realize he was that old, but I guess it does make sense, like the timeline of things. I was really hoping that he was going to make a run for president. I get why he didn't, but I was really hoping, I liked his demeanor. I thought he had a great demeanor. I was really hoping that he was going to run. I was kind of upset. Not upset, but I was kind of internally disappointed that he didn't actually run for president. But yeah, 84 years old. Passed away at Walter Reed this morning due to complications related to COVID. And what I would like to know is, did they give him access to the Merck drug? That's in like I said, I think it's been presented or it's been applied for, but it's not out yet. But it's everything that I've read, it's considered a game changer. And he doesn't quite call like a president or like an active senator would qualify for getting an experimental drug. Unfortunately, he probably would not have. But literally, it's made if you get COVID, bam, you take this Merck drug, and it basically reduced hospitalizations by. I mean, like the data was amazing. I mean, it dropped hospitalization by like over 50%, and death dropped it to zero. Nobody died that took it. It's crazy. 84 multiple cancers, odds against him. Yeah. I mean, he had a lot again. Yeah, I mean, again, Ernest, 84 years old, you got a lot typically going wrong with you. But like I said, if he would have had the Merck, if he had access to the Merck drug, could that have saved his life? So yeah. But definitely a guy I respected. I love the way that he carried himself. I love the way he handled himself. Always thought that he would have definitely been one of those guys that I mean, being a general, you're always kind of like, like Norman Schwarzkopf. Never in a million years would I have been like, yep, good president. But Colin Powell, I really like the way that he handled himself, and I was really hoping that he would have, I get it, like again, the death threats were and where everything like that were crazy, but if there was a guy that I thought would have been a great, great candidate, that was a guy right there. But yeah, but again, I wonder if he was allowed access to that Merck drug. People are going to die as they wait to pass these things, but yet, there's actually outcomes data on it. So, dollar Swiss. So dollar Swiss is really not doing much, right? Just basically sideways. Right now, it is 2 pips in 24 hours, so not really a lot to talk about. I would say if you're looking for tops and bottoms in here, it's a decent entry down here, or a decent level down here. And again, we can just extend this one over across the top. We can turn it red just to make it easy and kind of give us a bracket top and bottom. Right now, in the middle, there's not really a whole lot giving us anything in there. So, again, I'll put these out there so you guys can see them. What do we got? 93, 92, and 93. So 100 pip range there, top to bottom. Yep. Yeah, it's so funny, Ernest. Like it kind of makes me laugh, right? I mean, they're both known for kind of the same thing, right? But like Norman Schwarzkopf and Colin Powell, like they're like totally different guys. One of them is like a knockoff. It's like a kind of like a knockoff. I don't even know if you say knockoff, but like one of them wants to be General Patton, right? Storm and Norman, right? Right? And then you see Colin Powell who like talk about like being like a dignitary and well spoken and well versed. It's like totally different. Both got, famous for kind of, being in the same role, but one of them is a true statesman. And then the other one is a knockoff of Patton, right? Gets the job done, but yeah, a little rough around the edges. Not someone that you know. Ugh. All right, yeah. So, yen, it looks like it went all the way through our top. We had talked about kind of pullbacks and where things were on this one. Dollar yen has been such a strange one to play. Again, a lot of these are old readings. We had this kind of front run area, and you can see we talked about the front run, and it got the front run of the front run got pulled. So, I think there are areas we need to kind of watch out for. I mean, really, I don't know that I would take another long off that level, but we are in a higher time frame kind of selling area. Question is, will it roll? Will it not roll? Right now, it's at zero. You can see it's done absolutely nothing. Right? It's 0%. It's sitting right here, right above where I am right now. 0%. Right? I would say on a nearer term, yeah. I mean, this is again larger time frame level. We're looking for shorts. There was a short right there, and again, this one was formed on Friday, and it started hitting this one late last night. It's there. Is it an amazing setup? It's okay. My problem with this one is you have all the selling coming in back and forth here. So I would say more negative on it, but do I love it? Nah, not really. I think there's better opportunities out there. And right now, currencies is not the realm, and the dollar yen is just more or less battling itself back and forth. It's really not doing a whole lot. Bitcoin up to 62. Again, we expected a run in Bitcoin with really the ETFs and things like that. They're going to get that ETF finally, and it looks like they're going to allow the ETF to come out. It's so funny listening to people talk about this whole situation with Bitcoin in general. They're like, oh, China's crackdown is failing. It's like, well, China's crackdown was done for a couple of different reasons. Um, it's kind of a setting stage of what you could do with it, but also by outlawing it and things like that, it doesn't expose them to the risks that are associated with it, and the climate change thing. And there's no such thing as green Bitcoin. Um, are there other currencies that are much more environment friendly? Sure, sure. Could the U.S. come out with a digital dollar and say, okay, because it is so environmentally like if we're going to ban oil, which we know is environmentally unfriendly, we know that mining is extremely environmentally unfriendly as well. You know, China's leading the world saying, yeah, we don't want it here. And now it's all shifted to the United States. Um, yeah, yeah. Having that out there is great, but all we need is Nancy's husband to short it. If we can get Nancy's husband to put a big put position in, we know what's coming. We know the banning is coming. So, yeah, I don't know, but even those are up at the moment. Let's see. Let's go across to oil. So oil's giving us a little pullback. It's only up 0.4. And again, I would say if we were going to draw this one top to bottom, again, there's kind of our up in the European session, and now it's pretty much kind of flipped and rolled to the downside. So let's see. Let's bring this across to 1430. Right now we're here. We're probably going to go back down to this level is what I would assume. I would assume we come back down into here, right? That's where the buyers have stepped in and kind of the gap from last week. But yeah, I mean, it's basically one up. Right now, it's one down. So, we're kind of doing that reversal. I think that this is coming to the forefront. And I joked, and I have to be careful because Todd definitely is a left leaner. It's funny that Russia has said, we'll help you control, we'll help control the, oil. It's like, really, you're part of OPEC Plus. You're the one that caused this issue right now. Japan is now getting on board. And again, Japan's like, yeah, listen, you're causing problems. We've talked about it here, energy inflation. The UK has already talked about energy inflation. Like I said, it's none of this. Nobody is saying that we're happy about the price of oil because climate change, we care about the environment. They're just worried about inflation. So, yeah, I'm waiting for people to start going crazy with the alternative methods. The Democrats haven't done it yet. And I say yet because people are going to start. I think people are starting to get tired of the increased prices, particularly in energies. And it hasn't been mentioned yet. But if you allow these other, with the price of oil where it is right now, if you allow these other methods of getting oil, and say you just tax them at a higher rate, right? You can tax them and say you're going to use that for other things. But remember, at the end of the day, the pipeline was actually supposed to be a energy neutral situation, right? So it actually wasn't going to, I mean, it was going to transport oil, but the actual pipeline itself was going to be considered carbon neutral. By the other things that they were doing on the sites and things like that. It was going to be a carbon neutral operation. Very, very curious to see what happens with this one, right? There are other technologies that are not as cost effective as pumping the traditional way, but with the prices as high as they are right now, they are now considered profitable. So when will the greed come in that those guys are like, hey, we're going off? And again, tax them if they're more environmentally unfriendly, put an environment tax in there. So you can tax it, because if it is still profitable, because I think 44 to 50 is where a lot of these other technologies come in. Put a tax on there, so it costs them $60, right, to be able to produce it per barrel. If it's at $80, they're there, and you're getting more tax money. You can pay for all the infrastructure spending. Problem solved, right? Problem solved. So, I think again, are we ready to call the top? No, but I think this one balances. I think something comes in, and I'd watch this level down here at 80.17. I think it's a level you want you want to kind of keep on your radar. Okay, but I do think again it's just going to retrace back again, and we'll see. If it ends here or we start down here tomorrow, I would not be surprised. I'll draw it on here right now. Where are we at? 3:00. Yeah, 3. I'm going to draw this right here, and tomorrow morning I will see if magically we open inside of this box, right? Give or take just a little tiny bit. Yeah, give or take a little bit. There's the European Open. So we'll see if that's where we open tomorrow morning. All right. Gold. So gold is here was our trade from last week. We can take the fibs off. We don't need the fibs anymore. We know we got our 18,000. So Oil, this is we talked about and we joked about this one being hairy, right? That was a nice short. I love that short off that one. We talk about this one being hairy. This is the perfect example. Look at this. Little tiny bodies and just wicks everywhere. This is a 30-minute. This is not like I'm not dropping into something weird. This is the 30-minute. Look at this. Oil is just, or gold is just, it's just such a funky thing to trade right now. I mentioned, for Todd's group, I expect this to retrace back to the origin of the move, which again was literally where the bounce happened, that 930 candle on the 13th. It did, and it came back up again. Do I love this one long right now? No. I mean, we still got this position right here. Again, we know inflation is creeping in, but we don't know when they're going to start raising interest rates. They're not acknowledging it. And right now, the anti-inflation play is not gold, it's Bitcoin, which I think is absolutely insane. I don't know why in a million years you would do it. You can outlaw gold, but you can outlaw Bitcoin and mining of Bitcoin. It doesn't matter if big business has it or not. All it's going to take is, yeah, there's a lot in there. So I would say that gold, again, look for a potential reversal. Is there anything right now that we should have on our radar for it? Wednesday, CPI. We'll get CAD CPI. Not really. I guess with all the PMI data, maybe. There's not really a big inflation number this week, but for gold, I would say, have fun with it. It just goes through long periods where you get a little bit of movement and then it's just slow. But God, look at this, all wicks. So I just don't really love gold. I think gold is justified to be higher. I think 1800 makes a lot more sense than 1770 where we're at right now. I don't know. Not really a big fan. Don't really love it. Silver is kind of the same thing. Silver is it's just more and more choppy. Had that level last week. Again, we had it marked off up here. You can see the red dotted line at 2350. I would say that this one is kind of boxed in as well too. Nice little pop off that and retrace back down. Remember, we are now over halfway through October. This is supposed to be $100 by the end of the year. Got a lot of room to run, $75 in 2.5 months, right? According to those Reddit traders. Yeah, I feel like the wool has been pulled over their eyes. I don't think it's making there, but if we can get up to 2350, I think this one is probably a decent short, particularly with the fact that we have no data truly this week. Not much to do with it. And let's go over the indices and we'll drop these down. And missed it by a little bit. So talked about these 3 consecutive areas here. It literally pushed it right to the brink. 845. Actually, it did come back down and grab it. It did. There's your 845 candle right there. There's your long. Right? 845, 9, 915. There's your opening print. And are we out? There you go. There you go. And we're still hovering right around that 4450. So at the end of the day, not really anything too crazy in there. Not much of a change. We're just hovering a little bit above. It's just kind of expanding with the U.S. trader stepping in. But again, 15-minute charts. This one set it up. 845 basing zone. And then again, we had a nice little pullback to that level. Rather small risk. 1 of 3 is done in the first 2 candles in the first half hour. So we're out there. I'd say overall today, I don't really have a sentiment on it. I would say I'm more neutral today. I do think that there is a bit of contagion with multiple property companies not paying foreign investors in China. I don't see how they can get away with, hey, we're only going to pay the local people, not the foreign people. I feel like something will be talked about. VIX is only up 4 now. It was down, 8 before. So I do think if we can get through this one little level right here, there's one little level sitting right there at 44.65. I do think it can go higher. I do think with all the earnings and things like that, as people are mentioning them, I do think this does go higher right now. And again, I don't think there's really a whole lot of data coming from us until later in the week right now. So I'm just kind of more neutral in this one. And again, nice little grab this morning. We knew we already had buyers. We knew we had a base and a pull away. And again, came back down on the 15-minute chart. Grabbed that one and took off. So if you guys got that one, good job. Watch for, again, it's 10:36 right now. Got a little bit more to go. But if we can clear this area, I think we stay green on the day today. NQ, again, kind of the same scenario. Again, 615, 845. Actually, 845 would have been the entry on this one. So this one kind of went early. Same exact setup. Here's your 9:30 candle. Literally came down. And again, we had a touch that was tested and started the pull away at 9:30. Same trade, right? Almost the same exact trade setup. And again, 1 to 3 is right there. There you go. So very, very fast trade. I would say look for 15. We're kind of testing the sellers right now. I would say 15,200, which is this dotted line up here. I think this is the target where we look to come up to and then base today. Again, NQ typically is it's today is the stronger, right? Versus everything else is a little tiny bit in the red or trying to struggle. Dixie's about to go green. ES is about to go green as well. It's down. There you go. It's down half, down 0.75, down 1 point. So it's literally bordering on being green. I think 15,200 today is a potential target, but really, there's not really a whole lot of news to drive it much past that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just kind of base through again. Just not a lot on NQ right now. YM, yeah, I mean there's your 9:30 spike. We talked about it in the morning session today. I don't think this one hit 3 yet. Oh yeah, we did. Oh no, not yet. 3 is right there. Oh, actually, no, not yet. Close. Right. So, yeah. So that one was pretty close. Man, it got super, super close. Look at that. I'll remove the black line. Look at that. We got right there. We got so close. All right. So top side, watch out for this level up top. It's been a pretty decent level. We'll see if we can chop through by the end of the day. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if it gets stuck in here. There is a small level sitting right there. Again, a tested level. And that's actually what it bounced off of. So we'll see if we can get up to that full profit target. But again, another nice opening trade today that you guys could have taken advantage of. So that's all 3 so far. And then let's see if Russell did it as well. Nope, Russell missed it by just a little bit. 8:45, 9:30. Yeah, Russell would already taken off. So Russell missed it. Russell was trying to be the active mover. All right. Oops. Nope. That's not what I wanted. Here's a question. Where are the fib traders sitting? They're sitting right at the 2275 level. So they're sitting, there's a little wick over wick there, but they're sitting right there. Let's see what this looks like. Right there. And again, 2275. So psychological level, little level of basing right around between the 50 and the 61. And again, the 50 to 61 is a little bit big, but you guys can see the level where it formed over here, the base, the pull down. And there is a wick over wick. There's actually a wick over wick sitting right here. You know what? Let's change that to orange. There's a wick over wick sitting right there. So I actually wouldn't be surprised because it is a 50% pullback and there's that little wick over wick in there sitting right. I mean, they're literally sitting. Here's the 50, right? It's sitting right on that line. I wouldn't be surprised if this one got front run for a bit of a reversal back to the downside. So it's got to move. I mean, it's got a decent bit. It's got to move. I mean, maybe end of the day, it's going to go 11 more points. But very interesting that we got our level of basing in there and a strong push off of it, which I like. There is a wick over wick, again, showing us that little front run position. But again, remember, in overlapping scenarios, again, 50% is going to be a popular time to pull back to. It is a Larry, again, 2275, so it's a quarter system. It is a 50% pullback level, right within close proximity. Again, the front run of it, as well as a supply zone. So a lot of things in there. I might feel bad for younger guys. I know. Well, I mean, buying AMC and GameStop, I mean, depending on when you bought it, I mean, it's up 3% today, right? I mean, it's up today. I mean, if they bought it when it was all the way over here, then yeah, it sucks, right? And this one, I mean, God knows what you're doing with this one. GameStop. I mean, you guys know I love my video games, right? I love my video games, but yeah. And what I feel bad for GameStop is it's an area where there's definitely some sellers in here. Look at this. Nice. Look at this. Here's your old gap level. Boom, right back down. So yeah. And James and his Dogecoin. back at 25. The interesting thing about Dogecoin is there's not a cap on the amount you can produce. So it's kind of interesting. Like, I didn't know that. But now, I don't know. This is one of those ones, like, make money for it as long as you can, but eventually this one doesn't have a cap. It doesn't have a limiter. Like, Bitcoin has a limiter. It gets harder and harder and harder to produce more and more and more and more and more. There's actually a finite amount. It doesn't go on forever, right? It gets harder and harder and harder. And there's those refreshes. Dogecoin doesn't have that. Technically, they can just produce it forever. So I love video games too, but that doesn't mean you have to throw our brains out the window. Yeah, I know. Yeah. All right. So with that said, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I don't see too much in here. Natural gas is kind of doing its thing. It's down. I'd like to get below 5 again. Bonds are up a little bit now. Yeah, it kind of gapped lower, but then took off. But bonds are probably going to have an interesting time right up here. So look for this to roll over. Trying to see if there's anything else. What else we got in here? Apple actually has a gap just above where we are, but Apple's been turned away from this area a couple times. That's basically 44, 45 area. It's been an issue. You can see that really. It's had issues with here before. And I don't know when Apple has its earnings, but and let's see, good old Tesla. Tesla at 862. It's going the opposite direction. We were hoping for all the way down here, but I don't think you're stopping at this point. I hate to see Nancy's husband make all that money. I don't know. What are you gonna do? Sorry, the space race is just, it's a real thing. And magically, Elon has all the contracts, even though everybody else is doing more. So, yeah. So, all right. With that said, let's go ahead and do the drawing. Been a while since we've done a drawing. What did I do? Oops. I just clicked something. I was like, wait, why do I hear myself talking? All right. Oh, I guess I had it on another machine. All right, let's see. Only 6 people in today. I see Will in here. I have Ernest in here. I have Neuro in here. I have Debbie. Oh, we're missing somebody. We're missing our California resident, right? Our California resident is missing. Briggs was typing earlier. He's not in yet. Yeah, look at this. We're low today. Look at this. We got Neuro, Will, Ernest. Debbie's in. Sean's in. Eki is in. Yeah. Marina is missing today. I wasn't super clear. I just kind of popped on. Kind of just surprised you guys. Just kind of popped in and was like, yeah, I'm in. But yeah, no Briggs. I don't know. Where is he? He was just typing a little while ago. Maybe he had to get running. Is Bernie qualified? I just saw that he typed it. Briggs, I honestly don't know. I don't know if Bernie is qualified or not. All right. So winner of today's drawing is Ernest is in with 3 is the best chances, followed by Neuro. Winner of today's drawing is Neuro. Look at that. Neuro took it. Good job, Neuro. Let's go across. Where's Neuro? He gets his 25. So Neuro is on the heels. So Neuro only gained 15 on Ernest today. But look at that. The battle is within 300. Getting close. Let's see. Battle is getting close. So yeah, we need to crank some of them off here. Look at this. And it's crazy. Marina is still right on his heels, but he had those like 3 winners in a row to kind of help save himself, to kind of give him that little oomph. Because she was within, like, remember that? She was within like 6 points. And Will cranks off like 5 winners in a row and is able to, save himself a little bit. So, all right. With that said, I'll be back on tomorrow morning for Nadex. And then remember, tomorrow's session is at noon. And if I survive, like I said, I have a mentor appointment and then an eye doctor. We'll see. I'm going to be that big baby. Like, you're going to have some drops. I'll be like, no. But, all right. Good to be back. Good to see everybody. And hopefully I didn't bore you with filling you in on the life experiences for the last week. But I'll catch you guys tomorrow. You guys have a good one. Take care.